All right, well, I stepped out of the house yesterday, today, and I was in a sweatshirt and I quickly had to take that off because I went on a walk around the back cove and it was warm.
I was wearing shorts earlier today, which might be a little intense, but yeah, we're getting one last taste of summer before we truly start to transition into fall. Actually, ironically, on October 1st, things will be a little bit cooler, but I don't want to get ahead of myself, spoil the forecast. We'll talk a little bit about today first. Here were some of our high temperatures for the day, and a lot of us were able to get into the 70s across the state, almost 80 degrees in Freiburg today. I got to a high of 79, 74 in Lewiston, 76 in Wiscasset, 71 for a high in Bangor and Bar Harbor today. We had a lot of sunshine earlier, but at this point we started to see an influx of some higher clouds thanks to a system passing to our south. So right now we're starting to see an increase of those higher clouds, which will continue during the overnight hours, and therefore our overnight low temperatures won't be quite as chilly. In fact, a lot of us will be only dropping down into the 50s, which is about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. We still end up with a really nice day tomorrow, starting out with some fog in some of those lower valleys and a little bit of cloud cover early in the morning. And then in the afternoon, we have a front pass through, but it's another one of those dry fronts. In fact, you might not even notice it with the exception of a couple of clouds. I do want to mention there is a slight chance of a very isolated shower tomorrow afternoon, but I think 99% of the state will remain dry throughout the entire day. Then that front passes through, but then we enter into the warm sector. So it's still going to be warm on Sunday. So tomorrow those high temperatures will be in the 80s for some of us. Very similar for Monday, getting into the upper 70s, lower 80s again. We end up with a lot of sunshine during the day, both Monday and Tuesday. It's another stretch of really nice but really dry weather. So this is what you can see here. If we sort of expand things out a little bit, there's that system to our south, bringing some precipitation to Pennsylvania and New Jersey. All of that rain passes to the south. That's a little bit of our system to the north. Again, I think it'll be a mostly dry front that comes through us here in Maine. And then there's really not much to see or talk about because a large area of high pressure is going to be dominating our weather for almost the entirety of the week. We do have to watch the tropics a little bit, but I'll get to that in a second. And again, our future rainfall not looking good for the drought at all. This is the amount of rain we're expected to see for the next week, and the answer is almost none. Temperature trend, we are going to be warm the next few days, and then once we get into October, we start to get a little bit of that front coming through again, and another one of the dry fronts, and then we end up a little bit cool for the beginning of the month. So I said we're going to watch the tropics a little bit. This is Hurricane Humberto, has rapidly intensified into now a Category 5. Beautiful on that satellite imagery there. This storm is expected to turn out to sea, and we're not expecting to see any precipitation right now from that storm, but we are watching Tropical Depression 9 that has not formed into hurricane status just yet, but we'll be keeping a very close eye on these two systems and how they're able to interact as we go into the rest of the weekend and the beginning of next week. Marine forecast sees 1 to 3 feet. Ocean temperature is 61. So here's a look at that 7-day forecast. I do want to mention that because we have that dry front passage tomorrow, it might be a little bit breezy in the afternoon, but it'll still be really comfortable and quite warm with those high temperatures getting into the upper 70s and lower 80s. Might also be a little bit sticky in the afternoon tomorrow. Then Monday, another really nice, very sunny day. And then Tuesday might also be a bit breezy. And then we start to get a little bit cooler as we get into the middle of next week, particularly Wednesday and Thursday. Say in the beginning of October, and the temperatures reflect that, getting a little bit cool, but right now it's one last taste of summer.
Yeah, 82 to 62 on that forecast. Wow, big difference. Thanks, Dana.